As you know, people, you have received your feedback for your essay outline, and now there are some notes that I would like to share with you so that you won't have a lot of difficulty when you're writing your essay. And obviously, some of my warnings were overlooked, and you didn't really pay attention to some details. So I'll take this opportunity to go over some important things that you must be careful about. So, first of all, let me start with language. I didn't give you any grammar feedback in the outline. That's why you have to check your language. So, because it doesn't mean that your language, your grammar, your vocab choice is perfect because I didn't say anything about it. To be honest, on the contrary, you have a lot of problems with grammar and vocabulary. That's why I think you really should check your language. Actually, a huge majority of the students that I gave feedback to have problems in their language in terms of grammar and vocab. So please check them. Remember, I talked about Grammarly in the previous lesson, so you could use that, of course. And about sources and excerpts. So I mostly looked at relevance and connection and whether your excerpts supported your major ideas and your topic sentences and of course, if they provided anything in your attempt to answer the essay question. Other than that, I didn't check, for example, titles, authors, page numbers, etc. It's still your responsibility. You must provide the correct information regarding the excerpts and sources in the essay in the right way. And of course, okay, so this is important. Listen, some of you tried really hard to use academic journal articles, and I'd like to thank them. And that would be actually the practice that I prefer. However, people, you don't have to use academic journal articles. Okay, I know that these are semi-academic essay topics, and that's why it might be a bit difficult to use academic journal articles when you're writing on these topics. However, you can use other types of sources, but still they must be credible. Okay, so they must be credible sources. So use mainly .org or .edu websites. If you can't use academic journal articles, just focus on these websites. You can also use .com sites and news magazines as long as they are respectable and credible. So it means you can, of course, use well-known news magazines, newspapers, websites, news websites. That's fine. So you must find out if the writer is an authority on the subject or not. And you can't use Wikipedia. That's a big no. And I told you this previously. About paraphrasing and summarizing. So I have seen a lot of copying and pasting in topic sentences, in major ideas, and that is simply not acceptable. Okay? And borrowed sentences must be properly paraphrased and summarized. Otherwise, they are examples of plagiarism. And as I discussed previously, paraphrasing doesn't mean changing one or two words. It must be a thorough, a detailed transformation of the original source. And so you should be writing it in your own words. And when you're writing your essay, you will have to use APA in-text and in-text citation rules. Be careful about that. When you're paraphrasing, summarizing, direct quoting, you have to follow the rules that we talked about in the classroom. So, are you going to make any changes when writing the essays? I gave you feedback, and of course, if there are problems that I mentioned in the outline, then yes, you will have to make changes. Otherwise, no. So if I didn't see any problem with any part of the outline, then you must keep it in your essay. Of course, you can make changes in terms of grammar or language, but the ideas must be kept. Okay, and you can't change your topic, and you can't change your subtopics, so they should remain the same if there are no problems. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can ask me now, or you can visit me in my office hour. But don't forget to first get an appointment and tell me a day before, at least a day before the office hour. Okay?